I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. Did you know that the first Sunday in January is considered Dating Sunday? It is said to be the busiest day for online dating. In fact, between now and Valentine's Day is the busiest time of the year. So whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, or 70s, and you are looking to get out into the dating scene, I say go for it. And today's video is going to be all about helping you create the look that's going to give you the best profile picture. And at the end, I'll break out my camera and share with you how to position yourself and the camera for some of those great shots. Whether you're looking for a profile picture for an online dating profile, or maybe you just want an updated picture for your social media, I've got you covered. And if you've enjoyed sharing this time with me and it's been a good experience, I would love for you to hit that like button, leave me a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything that we talk about for those of us that like to maturely modify the latest in beauty. So if you're ready, let's get started. Let's get our profile picture ready. The first thing I want to do is have a lot of moisturizer on my face because I really want a nice soft place for all of these products to land so that I get a more plump, youthful, bright, glowy look to my skin. So I've had my moisturizer sitting for about 5 minutes and now we're gonna go in and conceal. So I'm using my House Labs by Lady Gaga Triclone Concealer. And I don't love this applicator because it is really big, but my love for the product itself outweighs this really big applicator. So I want this to be a flawless picture, so I'm gonna cover up any areas on my skin. And I don't normally do this in an everyday practice, but today is photo day. So just like picture day when you're in junior high, or senior pictures when you really go all out. And if you're in my age bracket, senior pictures meant you had a lot of this, except it was probably Aquanet, a lot of it. So we are gonna do a little bit with our hair today. Not only do I wanna neutralize the discoloration around my eyes, I just wanna mark any areas where I have any spots that I'd like to conceal. That's my handy concealer. You can just press that in with your fingertips. You can use a brush. There's so many different ways that you can apply concealer. It really is whatever is most comfortable for you. The purpose of this video is just to cover up any discoloration anywhere. If you're like me and enjoy watching people do their makeup because you learn just the way different people do their makeup, I've learned a lot from watching Julie Meikle. I'll link her channel down below. She's out of Canada. I did a couple streams with her in 2023, live streams, and we'll probably do more together this year. But she's not only a makeup artist, she's a hairstylist. She reminds me a lot of Lisa D1, just very authentic, genuine, just fun to watch. So check her out if you're looking for someone else to watch. Next, we're gonna go to foundation. If I'm doing makeup on myself or on a friend or something where they're gonna have a lot of photos, then I really enjoy this Makeup Forever, the HD Skin. It's a little too thick, I think, to wear every day in person, at least on my more mature skin, even with a primer and a setting spray. I just feel like it does settle into fine lines and wrinkles. But if it's a photo day, I love this one. I also like the Charlotte Tilbury foundation for photo days because it gives such a flawless finish. So I wouldn't say you have to run out and grab a foundation like this. What I would suggest is maybe taking your concealer and mixing it with your foundation for a photo so that you get better coverage and a little bit more full coverage for that moment, and then you can go wash it off. That's a nice way to just have your skin be very flawless. Now, if you've got larger discoloration on your skin, I wouldn't completely cover that because in these opportunities where you're doing an online profile, I think that representing your most authentic, genuine, who you are self is so, so important. There was a time when I experimented with online dating, and there were a couple times when I would go to meet someone and they didn't look like their photograph at all. So I just thought, how disingenuous, and why would you share yourself to be, why show yourself to be somebody that you're not? So this video isn't about covering up what you've got and trying to look like someone else. It's just trying to look like your best version of yourself. And yes, I need a little foundation to bring out my most authentic, genuine version of me and my skin. For my foundation, you notice I'm using a small, damp beauty sponge. I find that a smaller one allows me more precision and it causes me to use less of the foundation, which always makes for a better look. And you want to be sure to blend that everywhere. And if you're wearing a shirt that does show just a little bit of your neckline, then make sure that you bring that foundation sponge all the way down into your neck and blend it so that we're not having those two different colors, because once we step in front of the window where there is a lot of light, that difference in your skin color will really be highlighted. And now that I've concealed that under eye area, I just want to go in and brighten it a little bit more so that the light catches my eye area more than any other part of my face. Even if you have wrinkles under your eyes, don't try to hide them in a photo, because that's what makes you you, and you don't want to look fake or, you know, over made up. I mean, maybe you do. I don't want to judge however you want to look, but don't shy away from showing that you have wrinkles, because if everything goes well and you start dating and, you know, stuff happens eventually down the road, they're gonna see you without makeup on. So I just believe that wrinkles around the eyes are from years of smiling. And who wouldn't want to be with somebody that has spent years smiling? That to me sounds a lot better than spending time with somebody that spent years of just being grouchy. I want to contour the face a little bit, so I'm going to go into the Natashadenona I Need a Nude palette. You guys know I love this one for more than just eyeshadow. It's got a great contour color in it for me. It's more on the cool side, and ironically, it's called Tender. It's going to get a little bit on the tip of the brush. If you found that your hairline goes pretty far back, and as we age that happens, just adding a little bit of artificial shadow there helps give a natural curve to your head. Now for this next part of the contour, I'm going to take the side of this fluffy brush and go back into that same contour and just lightly twist that brush around the shadow, tap off any excess, and then take that same area where we just put the shadow and go right around my jawline, right at the angle where it starts to curve down, and then we're gonna blend that. Now right there, you might say that looks really crazy, but notice how this chin starts to go away. We're gonna just go right and blend it, give a nice straight jawline, and then blend it underneath the chin, and so until it darkens up that little gobble part, I call it, that likes to hang down, and I don't like to see it hanging down. The benefit you get from doing this in photos is it helps bring your face a little bit more forward and your neck and chest a little bit farther back, so it just gives more definition to the structure of your face, which is really a flattering look. Now the thing about photography makeup, you guys, is it can look a little bit off in natural light or in person. So I don't suggest that you go to a function or even the grocery store after doing photo makeup. I would just suggest doing this towards the end of the day when you can wash it off and you don't have to go somewhere out in public. Now, if you want to contour a little bit to give yourself a little bit more cheekbone, you could certainly do that. I would just start back at the hairline, find where your cheekbone is, and then carve right through that area, but not too far forward, because as we age, our face already looks more sunken in, and you don't want to highlight that or emphasize a sort of a gaunt, sucked in, loss of collagen face. So I don't like to contour on the sides of my face at all. I just hide my forehead a little bit, and then for photos, cover up this little double chin area. But you can see how adding just a little bit of that contour separates your face from your neck and your chest area. Now we'll go in with a little bit of blush, and I'm gonna use my Mini Dream. This is the Glow Blush. I just talked about this one the other day. And I think I'm gonna use my fingers because I really just wanna use this real light color. And I'm gonna use my finger for this because I really just want this middle color. And I'm just gonna go really lightly because I don't wanna look like I have too much blush on. So I'm just gonna place it to the outside corner of my eye, right on the highest part of my cheek, and then softly blend it in an upward motion. The key to blush in photographs or in person is you don't want to see the blush, you just want to see the effects of blush. And that's just a nice, youthful looking rosy cheek. I love the fact that online dating is becoming more mainstream. I was fortunate enough that after a marriage ended years and years, like 25 years ago, I was in the dating scene for a while. And then luckily in 2019, I found my husband. But had I been wanting to date and meet someone, it would have been really challenging. And I think this online dating provides a great opportunity to go meet people that you wouldn't normally meet. I mean, everybody's on their computer. I say go for it. There is nothing, you know, the stigma of it I think is going away. And the stigma really sits, I think, with our generation, those of us that didn't grow up doing it. But I think I've got friends, both men and women, that are looking to find companionship, you know, and some of them are looking for somebody to spend the rest of their life with. And some are just looking for somebody to spend moments in life with and not a long-term commitment. So it's not just for people that want to get married. It's for people that maybe live in areas that just are looking for a travel buddy or, you know, somebody to go do art shows with or whatever your thing is. So I say go for it. You know, 2024, there's a lot of days in a year. So if you want to spend them with somebody doing stuff that you love, I think it's awesome. But unfortunately, we live in a society where, you know, first impressions are based on look, especially when it's on a profile picture. That's the first thing you go for. So, you know, have a really nice profile photo that looks authentically like yourself so you're not misrepresenting anything. Although right now I'm misrepresenting how fluffy my eyebrows really are. Now, if you don't normally do your eyebrows day to day, I would still suggest doing them for a profile picture because everything in a picture is a little bit diluted. It's a little bit farther back. So you want to go a little heavier on all of your natural features so they really come through and they don't get dulled through the camera lens. Now, in terms of eyeshadow, I don't want to add a lot. I just want to have what my eye looks like naturally a little bit more enhanced, if you will. So because I've got deeper set eyes, my eyelid is pretty light, and then I've got that crease right there, which goes back pretty deep. I'm not gonna emphasize that. In fact, I'm gonna bring that crease up just a little bit so that I have more space on my eyelid to work with. If you've got hooded eyes, then you can do a very similar technique. Just spend a minute to look in the mirror and say, all right, where is the light hitting my eyes? Where's the darkness or the shadow hitting my eyes? And then you can just emphasize those areas with lighter and darker eyeshadow. So because I've got that lighter area and I want my eyes to really pop for this photo, I'm gonna go into Fair, which is this vanilla color right here, and just bring some light to that entire lid from lash line, inner corner to outer corner. And then in that outer corner, I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit. This Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette is just so flattering. And not only are these powders great for eyeshadow, there's a couple in here that are really pretty for blush. There's the contour that I just shared with you. It's a really universal, you can use it for multi-reasons type palette. My natural crease is pretty far back because I have deep set eyes. I don't want to emphasize that and have my eyes look even farther back. So I'm going to take more of that light color and go into that crease and lighten that up just a little bit. That will help my eyes from looking too deep set and too tired. This is also a really good hack for droopy eyelids because it helps this area look more lifted. And then I'll use just the little amount that's left and go to the inner corner of the eye and all the way up to the eyebrow. So that light color that we use should be more prominent down lower on your eyelid and then fade as it goes up to the eyebrow. Next, I'm gonna grab a smaller paddle brush and I'm gonna go into this color right here, which is Stone. It's just a little bit darker than my skin tone and a little bit lighter than the contour that we used. So if you're doing this with me, leave me a thumbs up down in the comments, and I hope you're doing it with me. But for this color in your shadow, you're gonna wanna use a color that's a little bit darker than your normal skin tone, but lighter than that contour color that we used earlier. And then the one last thing to consider is if you use more of a cool to neutral blush, and you have a cool shirt on or whatever you're gonna wear below, and the color on your eyes was more neutral to cool, then you want this to also be in that neutral to cool area. Same as said if you went warm with your wardrobe, warm with that lighter color and warm blush, then you'll wanna opt for a more warm color in that crease area so that it's all nicely blended. For this part of the application, I wanna take the side of that brush and press it into the powder, tapping off any excess. And then knowing that that's the side that I have the powder on, I want to put it to the outer corner of my eye at the crease and to bring it to the lash. So that you get a barely there, but a emphasized shadow or curve around your eyeball. And then blend it, pulling it just a little bit to the outside to extend that eye area. Now, if you wear a lot of makeup and you want this to be a darker application for your profile picture, then you'd want to use a darker shadow for this step. Next, I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go into this darker color. And in this palette, this is called Silhouette. And I'm going to put that powder right on the very tip of that brush. And then I'm going to place that color right on my lash line and almost push it down onto my lashes and bring it all across my lash line. Now using a good eyeshadow for this so that you're not getting fallout is an important step. Otherwise, you'd want to put some powder underneath your eye, allowing that powder to catch any of the eyeshadow and then brush that shadow off. Natashadenona shadows are so good for a tight application like this because you don't get the fallout. And see a difference that makes just in the lashes alone. It doesn't look like I have eyeliner on. It just looks like, and this is before we apply mascara, that I've got thicker lashes at the base. And then I'll take what's left on the brush and go right at my lower lashes, doing the same thing. And then bringing those two colors together, making sure that they touch, and then using whatever's left on the brush still and just flawlessly pull that out in an upward motion so that you give your eyes a little bit of a lift, especially as we age. These outer corners start to sag. I mean, let's not even talk about what sags as we age. So this little technique gives us an artificial lift. And then go back to your fluffy brush and just blend it all very softly so there's no harsh lines. And then the last thing I like to do is to take a small tight brush and go back into that lighter color that we used. You can also use your concealer here if that lighter color on your eyelid is not a color of your skin, and go right to that outer corner and just clean up that line. For that darkening of the eyelashes, you could choose to use a shadow to bolster the look of the root of your lash and then an eyeliner. For a profile picture like this, I would opt for more of an eyeshadow because it's just a softer, more natural look. A nice soft curl of the lash is always flattering. Now the next step would be mascara. If you already have false lashes or lash extensions, you can skip this step. For me, I find that false lashes, if they're not the right style, in the right setting, they just don't look good on me. I think the rest of my face looks a little aged, and then I've got these really youthful lashes. When I see that in the mirror, it sort of confuses my brain. So I feel like my lashes need to be more in line with my age from the way my face looks. As a side note, you guys, it is supposed to be -6 here this weekend, and I sit by 2 big double doors. And I noticed the other day that there was a draft coming through, and my husband reminded me of these heated socks that were sent to me. And so I wore them the other day when I was filming a couple shorts. Man, these things are comfortable. I'll leave a link down below if you're looking for a battery operated heated sock. I might have the package here. They come in this carrying case, which I thought was cute. Yeah, here's the brand. And it's a full-on sock all the way up to your knee, and you just charge it. I wore them for a good 6 hours the other day, and my feet were so toasty. The whole circulation thing as we age is a little challenging. A little hack with eyelashes, especially as we age, is with your mascara brush, when you get to these outer lashes, to pull them more out instead of up. And because it's a photo and we want it to look more emphasized without looking overdone, just gonna go a little bit on my lower lashes. So next we're gonna move on to the lips. Again, I don't wanna add a real stark color. Now, if your normal look is very little eye makeup and a bright, bold red lip, then by all means do that so that you're representing who's gonna show up on that first date as realistically and authentically as possible. My normal look is a little bit darker lip, but not a bold lip. So I'm just gonna take the Natashadenona I Need a Nude. It's a nice light pale pink that will pull nicely with my shirt, as well as the blush that we used and the cooler colors in the eyes. Now I'm not gonna overline my lips because again, that's not what I'm gonna look like every single day. So I do wanna go right on the line. And then fill it in. I'll put a little bit of lipstick. This is number 800 by L'Oreal. Well, the makeup is done, but we can't forget the hair. And as we age, we tend to lose a bit of it. So I want to thicken up the look of it just for the pictures. And I would probably do this on date night as well. So I'm just going to take a little bit across the very back, the crown. And you guys know the deal. We've all done this. Just go back to your, your prom days. I'm going to back comb a little bit at the root. Now you could spray that if you wanted. I don't think I will because I'm not trying to go that far back. Although big hair is supposed to make a comeback in 2024 and I am all for it. Now I'll grab it on the side and back comb it and then lightly blend that into the front. I don't want to add thickness to the front because then it just makes my whole head look too big. I'm going to leave it thin towards the front and get thicker as it goes around the back. And then I'll add a little bit of hairspray right to the palm of my hand just to get rid of any flyaways. Give my bangs the look I want. And there we go. Now taking the photo itself, there's also a couple hacks. One, make sure that you're in lighting that is natural and a lot of it. So just put yourself in front of a big window. If you don't find that you've got any windows that let in some light, then take a lampshade off of one of your lamps so that you've got the light bulb giving you the most amount of light. Take a practice shot to see what's behind you. Now, when we're talking about the background that's in your shot, just be safe. You don't want to put things that are show valuables. If you've acquired some nice artwork, for example, you just don't want to make yourself an easy target. Now, I'm certainly not a safety expert, so if you want to experiment with online dating, just check out some safety tips first. You may just want to avoid having things in the background show that you have achieved a certain level of success, or that you've reached financial security and that you've reached financial independence. You just don't want to make yourself an easy target. And my favorite hack when it comes to taking photos, whether it's for a profile picture for a dating site or an updated Facebook photo, hold the camera a little bit higher so that the camera is looking down at you just slightly, so that you're not looking straight into the lens, but that the lens is a little bit elevated and you're slightly looking up. Having that look where you're looking up just a little bit causes you to raise your chin and open your eyelids a little bit higher. It's just a much more flattering look. This video has been so much fun to make. So if you are considering online dating, I say go for it. And I hope that the tips and tricks in this video give you that extra boost of confidence to just put yourself out there. You never know what adventure waits right around the corner for you. And if you have been experiencing online dating and want to share your thoughts with us with how it's going, you are more than welcome to leave those to us in the comments down below. Well, that does it for me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy whatever adventure this year holds for you. I'll see you in just a couple days. Bye-bye.